Welcome to episode 2 of the Hayastan podcast. Our guest for today is probably the only, or at least one of the only, Sudanese-Armenians in Armenia today, Garo Bozadjian. Garo moved to Armenia a few years ago and recently graduated from the American University of Armenia. After graduation, Garo began to work in Yerevan as a computer programmer. Welcome to the podcast, Garo.
Thank you, Nishan. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
So Garo, many people are interested in the Armenian communities around the world, and only a few are aware of the small community in Sudan. Tell us a little bit about the history of your family and how they came to be in Sudan.
So, my grandfather's name is Garo Bozadjian. He was in Western Armenia, and he was in a city called Tokat. From there was a revolution, which is before the genocide. There was a revolution in Agan. From that revolution, they sent him as a police officer to Istanbul, and from Istanbul they sent him to Marseille, which is in France. And they made my grandfather. They made him like a soldier, and they sent the French army sent him to Algeria. And he didn't like the army life or soldier life, so he went back to UK. He went to UK in London. He studied for 2 years. He studied English. After that, he went to US. There, he was working in a factory, metal factory, and they taught him mechanics. At the same time, when he was working and studying mechanics, he was also doing afternoon courses in horticulture engineer. So after he finished studying, he finished work there, he went back to UK and London. Then they asked him, we need you to go to Sudan. So in 1903, he went to Egypt. From Egypt, they took camels. And went to Sudan. So when he went to Sudan, he was in charge of he did research about long tail cotton, and it was successful. So the government, the Sudanese English government, they gave him 1,000 kilometer of field to do the test, and it was successful also. So after that, there was a lord. His name was Kitchener, Lord Kitchener. So he made a university there, a college, agricultural college, and he made him in charge of training the Sudanese students or Sudanese people how to farm, how to use the equipments for things like this.
And the college was in Khartoum, right?
The college was in Khartoum, yes. And yeah, after that, after this all successfulness, one of the lords in UK, he wanted to write about him. So he sent someone from UK, from London, to come to Khartoum, to Sudan, and he talked about his life and everything, about his achievements, and the book is called Modern Sudan. And after that, they gave him the royalty name, which is Charles. So his name changed into Garo Charles Bozadjian. Until now, we have that name, Charles, in our family.
So that's your middle name?
It's not like it's like a middle name.
Nice. So you said that Krikor escaped the Ottoman Empire before the genocide. So when exactly did that take place?
It took place around 1890s, because I've heard that there was a revolution at that time, and the Turkish police, they took him to Istanbul.
Did they arrest him?
They didn't arrest him. They just took him he was part of the police there, so they took him from Agat and took him to Istanbul.
So they took him from Agen to Istanbul, and then from Istanbul he went to France.
He went to France and he joined the army, French army there, and he went to Algeria.
So Garo, what was it like growing up Armenian in Sudan? Was there an Armenian school or a church?
Actually, there is Armenian school, church, and a club, but the club was closed because we had parties and stuff, and in Sudan it is Islamic country. They don't allow us to do parties, stuff like this during Christmas or during Easter. So they closed it, and after 20 years they gave us another field to build our club in it. And for the school, we have a church, and the school and the church are built near, like at the same building. It's same building. We have school, we have a church, we have a place where the priest can stay, and for the headmaster for the school. The priest comes twice in a year. He comes from Egypt because we don't have Armenian embassy in Sudan. We have our Armenian embassy. If you want to come to Armenia with our Sudanese passport, you have to go to Egypt to get the visa and come to Armenia. So from Egypt they send us priests for Christmas, and for Easter they stay for 2 weeks and they go back to Egypt. And
So you mentioned that when you were learning Armenian in school, a lot of your classmates were Coptic. So why was that?
Because the Armenians were getting less and less. They were immigrating outside the country, like in UK, Australia, US. So we asked the Coptic bishop. We have a good relation with him, and we told him to send us some students so the school doesn't get closed. So he started sending Coptic students to us, and they even learned the Armenian letters, and they started to pray in Armenian and say the national anthem, because every morning we should pray in Armenian and in Arabic, and we should say the Armenian anthem, national anthem, and the Sudanese national anthem before we go to the classes.
So living in Sudan, were there any issues since you were part of a very small Christian minority?
There wasn't, no. But for promotion in workplaces, stuff like this, it was really hard to have a promotion. But as living, and the people were very hospitable for us. They liked us, we liked them. We were very happy together. But the only problem in Sudan was the government. They let us work, but they don't give us promotions, higher positions in their companies or in their private companies or governmental companies. You don't see any Christian in that position.
So Sudan forces its citizens to serve in the military. Did you have to do this?
Yes, I had to do this. But at first, after finishing school, there is a 1 month training. Okay, but I didn't go there because I was underage, I was 16 at that time. You should be 18 to do the training. So after that, after I went to the university, I should do some service, like military service. So somehow, I started working in a petroleum company for about 1 year, which is governmental company, but they were treating me not as a worker, they were treating me as a soldier, as a military soldier. If I should come at 8, and if I'm missing, they will go to the military and tell that person is missing, he didn't come that day. For example, he was sick, you have to do another if you didn't come for one day, you have to do extra 10 days. Yeah.
Did you end up having to do extra 10 days?
No, because I had good relation with the with the one who's responsible, because I was working in his office. Like we were good together. He used to drive me back home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was good, but he was good with me, but with the rest of the people he wasn't, because he know that I'm working. He's seeing that I'm working. I'm doing whatever he tells me to do. Yeah, and that's why he was good with me and I was good with him. So for 1 year we did that and it was good.
Nice. So you had connections.
I had connections inside by myself, not with other people giving me connections. Yeah.
I'd imagine it was tough being the only Armenian in a Sudanese military division.
Not Armenian, white person.
Ah.
I was the only white person.
So they treated you not like an Armenian, but like any white person.
Any white person. Like they were bullying me and stuff like this. It was normal for me. Like I used to take the bullying as a joke, as joking. But other people, they don't like this, so they get mad and stuff. But for me, it is just as a type of a joke. It's not as a serious thing.
So but they respected your Armenian heritage, yes?
Yeah, I told them I'm from Armenia. They didn't. When I say, like in Arabic, when I say I'm from Armenia, I can say "Ana jit min Armenia." Then they say like they say from Germany. No, Armenia, because they think Armenia is Germany. They think that I'm German. I'm telling them that, like, it's not Germany, it's Armenia, and they say, who cares? It is one. White people.
Well, you know that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you served in the Sudanese military and
yeah, I survived.
You survived.
I survived.
That's good. That's good. So, what initially made you want to come to Armenia?
So at the beginning, I came with my parents because they were going to do their Armenian passports. I came with them. So I saw Armenia. I saw how beautiful it is. So I told myself the only way that I can come to Armenia is either to study or to work. So I started to search universities, and I saw that the only English university, not only English, like good university that teaches computer science was the American University of Armenia. So I started to get information from them, how to apply, and from that time I decided to stay. Like I decided to come to Armenia, do my masters, and maybe stay here and start working. So after I finished before I finished the university, I said I better stay in Armenia because the situation in Sudan is getting even worse and worse. So I told myself I better stay in Armenia, start working, and now I have two jobs, which one of them is working with CleanSoft, and another job with a company called SmartGate ML. It is part of Hero House. It is like teaching or bringing entrepreneurs with their ideas and make them grow.
So right now, since you've graduated from the American University of Armenia, you've been working as a computer programmer. So what are some of your main goals in working in computer programming?
Actually, in computer programming, I'm working as a data scientist who deals with data, pre-process the data and everything. And one of my goals is to show the world that Armenia they have the smartest people, which are especially in mathematics and in technology and programming, because Armenia is improving in technology, especially in technology and in programming, and now US are starting to hire Armenian minds, Armenian mathematical minds, and even Armenian chess players to work with them, to work in their company. And one of the companies that I'm working with, it is like deals with medical data, and the owner is Armenian, but he's Armenian from US. So he started to hire Armenians from Armenia to do this type of job, like data scientists and things, machine learning, things like this, because he wanted to make a name for Armenia in Silicon Valley or in Boston.
So the company you're working for is based in the US?
Based in the US.
And what is it called?
CleanSoft.
CleanSoft.
Yeah.
So what were some of your initial feelings when you first moved to Armenia?
So when I moved to Armenia, before moving to Armenia, I heard many stories. Like, Armenia is beautiful, Armenia is nice, people are good, and you will feel like home. And most of these stories are from the priests which come to Sudan from Egypt. And one priest, his name is Hayastan Gabriel. He told me that you have to shave all the time. The ladies don't like people with beards over there. I said, okay, sure. And yeah, and when I came to Armenia, I felt like home, actually. Yeah, it's like I'm returning back to my home country, which, like, my mother country, like my motherland and stuff like this. Yeah, I felt proud that I'm back here, and I'm planning to bring my parents also back to Armenia.
Oh, so they're going to move here as well?
I'm planning to make them move here. My mother wants to, but my father, it's hard for him to come here.
Because he has his roots in Sudan.
But my mother, when I tell her, like, come, she will come running. I'm sure of it.
And have they visited you since you've been in Armenia these past
Yeah,
few
my father
years?
visited me twice. Once, like 3 years ago, with my uncle. They came here and stayed for 3 weeks. And when I graduated this year in June, my uncle, my mother, brother, and my cousin, they came also to celebrate my graduation. They stayed for 1 month, and it was really awesome. I showed them around the country, took them tours. Yeah, they were pretty, like, they told me that we didn't know that Armenia is that beautiful. We thought it was like any other, like, Soviet country.
Mm-hmm. You were considered an outsider in Sudan, your home country. How has the reception been in Armenia, in the Republic of Armenia? Do you feel like an outsider here?
Actually, at the beginning when I came, I felt an outsider because not because of the people, because of the language. You know, my Armenian is Western Armenian. When I start speaking to people here, especially in Armenia, they start like we don't understand you, what are you saying? So I started to speak English. When I start to speak English, some Armenians, they understand it, so they prefer me to speak English rather than speaking Armenian. So I started to speak English. And when I was in American university, like, some of the students, some of the friends that I had there, they thought that I don't know Armenian, so they were speaking with me in English. So I started also speaking in English with the professors, with the students. Yeah, the only problem was with me is the communication with the people, which the language communication, which is my Armenian is Western and there is Eastern, and they don't understand what I'm saying. That was the only block, but the rest, everyone was friendly with me. I didn't feel like outsider.
So when people see you on the street or for the first time, so I know personally everyone starts speaking to me in Russian, or they think I'm Russian or German. Well, how has that experience been for you?
Actually, when I came, like here in Armenia, when I was doing my GRE exam, I was staying in a hostel. So the people come, people go. So some Russians, some Armenians, they come and start speaking with me in Russian. I'm telling them I don't know Russian, sorry. If you want to talk to me in an Armenian, or talk to me like in English. Like, you're not Russian. No, I'm not Russian. Okay. Some people even get mad. So I know couple of ladies, they come, they talk with me in Russian, I don't answer, and they get mad, they go to the receptionist. That person is bad, he doesn't talk. And the receptionist tell them in which language you were speaking, and they say Russian, and then they tell them that he doesn't know Russian, he knows English and he knows Armenian. But he looks Russian, but I'm not Russian actually, no.
I totally understand that problem. So since you've been in Armenia, have there been any interesting stories or funny miscommunications that have happened?
Actually, once I was standing near the Paregamachun metro. I was waiting for a bus to come back to my place, and two police officers, they approached me and started to approached me and told me that, what's your name? I told them my name is Garo, I can show you my passport, and they told me that you know Turkish. I'm like, no, I don't know Turkish. Then they started to say that there was a Turkish person with a beard, because at that time I had big beard. There was a Turkish person who was like flirting with Armenian women, Armenian ladies in the street, and the people were complaining, and we thought you were one like you were the Turkish person. I told them, no, I'm not Turkish. I come from Sudan. I came here to study and to work.
So were you flirting at the time?
I wasn't flirting. I was in Hero House. I was working at that time, and I was taking the bus and coming back home. No, I wasn't flirting. No way.
That's funny. Ուրեմն առաջ թունը սիր որ շատ մարդիկ երբ որ թուն իրենց հետ հայերենով գխոսիս իրան կգարձեն որ թուն հայերեն լավ չես խոսիր, չես հասկնար, իրենց ասածները չես հասկնար, բայց ուղղակի թուն արևմտահայերեն գխոսիս կոր, հիմա երբ որ թուն գխոսիս կոր արևմտահայերեն, իրենք գհասկնան, որ թուն ուղղակի ուրիշ փարփարով գխոսիս, եւ աданք չէ որ վատ արևելահայերեն սորված ես։
Ինքը խնդիրը անանք չէ նիշան։ Ինքը խնդիրը էս խոսիմն է, հայերեն խոսիմն է, երենց գխնդան։ Ինչու գխնդան, որ գարձեն որ մերին հայերենը խնդալիք հայերենը։ Բայց խնդալիք հայերեն չէ, գարձեն որ cute-ի բես բամ է, մերին հայերենը cute է։
Հա,
հասկացար։
Անգլերեն cute, այսինքն։
Հա, անգլերեն cute։ Անանք գարձեն, վերջեն գսեմ որ երենց հասկանակ կորենզի, վերջեն գսեն, հա, բարեր մգա, դասկանան կորը, բարեր մգա չեն հասկանար գոր, ավելի լավ պասադրես, ուրիշ լեզույով պասադրես, գսկսիմ անգլերենորով պասադրել, անգամ պան ընգերներս էդն էի, գխոսեին կոր, բիզդիկ երեխա գար, Երենց հոս երեխա գիսեն, ճուջուխներուն երեխա գիսեն, մենք արևադահայերեն ճուջուխ գիսենք, ես սկսա, եսի աս ճուջուխը լավ ճուջուխ է, եսի նիչ ճուջուխ, սուջուխ, ճուջուխը ինչ է, եսի բիզդիկ դա, բիզդիկ
Հա, ուրեմն
երեխա
Ուրեմն ճոջուխը իրենք հասկացան սուջուխ գսես։
Սուջուխ գսեմ գո։ Եսի ոյս սուջուխ չէ։ Ճուջուխ։ Մենք եսի վերջին եսի ոյ ճուջուխ չեն եսի երեխա գսեն։ Եսի լավ։ Եվ մենք մենք դղամարդ չենք գսել, մենք մարդ գսենք։
Հա, արևմտա հայերենով ուղղակի դղամարդը մարդ է։
Մարդ է։
Հա։
Եվ դղան դղա է, բիզիկ դղա։ Եվ դղա, հա, մարդը մարդ է, հոս իսեն դղամարդ։ Իսի ինչու դղամարդ գսենք, որ ինքը դղա է եւ մարդ է։ Okay, մարդ գսենք, մեկ անգամ մարդ գսենք, որ գրեկան հասկանան մի չէ։ Իսի ոչ, դղամարդի ժամանակին դղամարդ մեծ սորվեսուսին, դղամարդ է լա, իսի լավ, շատ լավ։
Ուրեմն ես լավ գհիշեմ թեփքը բադահեցավ, որ մեկը քեզի զանգեց եւ ինքը գուզերգոր որթուն փանմը փնդրես եւ գտնես գուզերգոր որթուն փանալին իրան փանալիները գտնես ինքն էլ գսերգոր սերի գարաժի կրավատի մոտն է եւ թունալ բադասխանեցիր ինչու չսիր որ դաղտագին կովն է փանալիները
այս որ գարզեցի փան կրավատը, ես գիտեմ որ կրավատը որ գագվին, հոս գորտի վրա գագվին, անեկը կրավատն է։
Փողգապ, այսինքն։
Հա, փողգապի պես։ Վերջին սա ոչ։ Հոն գտնած պալաները գտնած, էսի պալաները կրավատին կով չէ։ Սա ոչ կրավատին կով է։ Կրավատը ինչ է։ Սա վասան բան Մախճագալի պես բամ է։ Էսի օքեյ, բայց իրեն անունը կրավատ չի արի։ Դաղտագի վրա էր, էսի դաղտագի վրա կդա, արի։ Էսի իրեն ես Սուդանեն եկազեմ, հա, ռուսերեն չեմ հասկնար։ Էսի ռուսերենով հայերեն մի խոսիր, չեմ հասկնար։ Հա։ Անանգա։
Հա, ես ալ Սկիզբը գարձեցի, որ կրավատը փողգապ է, որովհետև իդալերեն, ֆրանսերեն կրավատը փողգապ է։ Հա։ Ադի շատ դժվար բառ է ինձի համար։ Դե ադան խնդիրներ կան։ So thank you very much, Garo, for joining us. It was very interesting to hear your perspective on both living in Armenia as well as living as an Armenian in Sudan. So thank you very much for coming on.
And thank you for hosting me for this interview. It was really nice talking to you again. And actually he was hosting me like for 6 months, 5 months?
5-6 months.
5-6 months, and I was hosting him back in the AUA dorm for 3 weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Thank you. See you next time.